Welcome back, App Chasers. In this episode, we take a look at two sequel apps, Dark Nebula Episode 2 and Backbreaker 2 Vengeance. So let's get right into the reviews. The Dark Nebula series is Development House 1337 Game Design's only presence on the App Store to date, but it's a huge presence in terms of visual splendor and all-out thrilling gameplay. The original episode was released in October 2009, and 1337 has had some time to come up with new gameplay elements for Episode 2, which was released in December 2010. Now, if you're not familiar with these titles, Dark Nebula is a labyrinth platformer and a far cry from rolling around a marble in a wooden box. In this sequel to an already amazing 10-level game, 1337 has introduced enemies, bosses, weapons, and other great new elements to round out this 19-level thriller. You'll find yourself rolling through lush jungle environments and what look like futuristic rusted-out factories. An eerie soundtrack has been added to Episode 2 that fits right in with this alien world, devoid of all life but the vicious robot soldiers. At the end of each level, medals are awarded based on shields lost, orbs collected, and time. Leaderboards are present through 1337's own online servers, and hopefully we'll see Game Center integration down the line, either in this episode or the already confirmed coming Episode 3. Normal game mode is default, and expert mode takes away the use of all shields, increasing the difficulty exponentially. We love what 1337 has done with the Dark Nebula series, and think you will too. The tremendous amount of work that went into these games, and especially Dark Nebula Episode 2, is obvious. We give Dark Nebula Episode 2 our 5-star App Chasers rating. Not a fan of sports games on iOS? Well, fear not. Natural Motion's Backbreaker 2 has arrived, and it's built to satisfy any iPhone gamer's needs. Originally debuting on the iPhone in 2010, the Backbreaker series brings most of the look and feel of the console game to iOS devices. Now, you won't see any NFL teams in the Backbreaker series since EA holds the rights to them, but then again, this isn't the traditional type of sports game. In the first Backbreaker app for iPhone and iPad, Natural Motion pitted offensive players against a defensive team. Players were required to juke or spin out of the way to avoid being tackled and make the ball the end zone. Running direction was accelerometer based. Now, the biggest hoopla about Backbreaker 2 Vengeance centers around the ability to assume a defensive role in Vengeance mode. Now players can sock it to the other teams using the newly added tackle button. This time players must battle through the offensive lines using the traditional juke and spin controls to get to the ball carrier in time. There are 10 challenges of 5 waves each in Vengeance mode, and progress is saved as you continue through these challenges. What we didn't expect to see is that Backbreaker 2 continues the offensive gameplay of the original game in Tackle Alley mode, and introduces trucking and jumping to the control options. Now players can jump over hurdles and red-colored players, along with trucking under gates. Players can even hoist yellow defensive opponents over their back when approaching them in trucking mode. These new controls might clutter up the screen for some tastes, but we didn't mind them at all. The reason Natural Motion didn't give a dedicated jump button is unknown to us, but simply tapping on the lower middle screen becomes second nature pretty quickly. Now, Tackle Alley mode really adds value to Backbreaker 2 with its 10 challenges of 5 modes each, and it really makes it seem like a standalone game rather than a sequel. Backbreaker 2 utilizes Game Center for achievements, but doesn't support the multiplayer abilities of its console brethren. We would love to see how Natural Motion would integrate multiplayer into the iOS version. The other gripe we had was the lag and the general slowness that this game has in launching. Thankfully, it's a multitasking game, so it doesn't need to be launched every time, but we hope Natural Motion can lighten it up a bit so we can get ready to rumble a little quicker. Overall, we are impressed by the visuals in the game. Audio effects are wonderful with the crowds cheering and players grunting. This is a fun game that anyone can enjoy. We give Backbreaker 2 Vengeance our 4.5-star App Chasers rating.